Right. For our first example, we need to graph the ordered pair from a table on the given graph. To graph 2, I would go over 2 because these are the x's, and then I would go up 15 and put a dot. For 5x, it would be up 21. I would place a dot. 7 is up 25. Place a dot. 8 is up 27. Place a dot. It just wants me to graph the ordered pairs. So I always start with the x in the bottom, and then I go up or down how many y says to go. Y's are up and down. For question B, it wants me to write the explicit equation for the graphs, and it wants me to use f of x and x. For B, I look for the y-intercept. The y-intercept is at -6. Then I look for the slope. The slope, as it goes down, it crosses right here, which is down 2 over 1. That will look like this, -2 over 1. F of x equals my slope with an x on it and a -6 for the y-intercept. If your computer gets mad about this function, why do you think it would be saying that that is wrong? Yeah, why would it be upset about it? Nope, the -6 is fine. It's just the slope. Does anybody see what the slope could become? It's not wrong. The slope is not wrong. I don't have to put the 1 in the denominator of the slope. -2 divided by 1 is just -2 simplified. This is correct. It just wants it simplified if you can. For question A, or C, sorry, for question C, I need the y-intercept. The y-intercept is at +5. Then I'm looking for the pattern. It went from 5 up to 10. How do I get 5 to go to 10 if it's curving like that? This is a curved graph. It's not straight. I would have to multiply it by 2. So I would say f of x is equal to start with 5 times by 2 to the power of x, or I could say that it's x minus 0. You can pick which one you want to type. They're both correct. Do those look familiar? All right, let's go to our set, the new material. We are writing the explicit equation as y equals mx plus b. I have m right here, and I have the y-intercept. So I would just replace it and have 2 over 5x with a plus 6. This is my m. Notice it's negative. This is my y-intercept. Y equals negative 3/4 x, and it's a minus 2 at the end. Turn the page. Question C. There was a hint on the last page that I might have to use point slope form. The way I want to end my equation is in slope-intercept form. So to start, I'm given m, and I'm given an x and a y. So I'm going to place them in. My m is negative 8 over 7. Then I would place my x minus a negative 21 with a minus 4 outside. Those two negatives inside are going to switch to a positive. And the 4 on the outside stays the same. Now this does not look like slope-intercept form. I have to simplify it. So I would multiply this in. Negative 8 over 7x. Then on my calculator, I would do negative 8 over 7 times by 21. Negative 8, or actually, I'll use my Desmos. So you want a fraction. Negative 8 over 7 is being multiplied in. When I times it by the x, it just is tagged onto it. But then I have to multiply it by 21, which gives me a negative 24. Do I distribute it to the 4 that's on the outside of the parentheses?
No.
I don't. I just drop this down and combine them together. What happens when I combine those two together? I get negative 28. This is in slope-intercept form now. So you won't get fractions very often. I think there's only one on your assignment that has a fraction. Like this. All right, question D. It does not give me a slope. I need to find one. So I have an x and a y, x and a y. I'm going to do 2 over -1. And a 27 over a -6. I put my minus signs in. That gives me -25 over -1 plus 6. -1 plus 6 is 5. When I reduce that, 25 divided by 5 is 5. This is my slope. And then I need to pick a point. Which point do you guys want to use? Does not matter which one. First one? All right, -1 and 2. That means I have in point slope form -5 x minus a -1 plus 2. The double negatives look kind of weird, so I'm just going to fix it. Make it a +1. Double negatives will make a positive. This is not in slope-intercept form. I need to fix it. -5 times x is -5x. -5 times 1 is -5. And this little +2 is just hanging out at the end. What happens when I combine these two that are like terms at the end? It becomes a -3. -5 plus 2, -3. That would be done. That's in slope-intercept form. All right, question E. Same thing, 2 points. X, Y, X, Y. I'm going to find the slope. 14 over -3. So I did y over x, y over x. I placed my minus signs in. 26 minus 14 gives me 12. -9 plus 3 would give me -6. 12 divided by -6 is -2. Then I'm going to pick a point. I'm just going to pick the first point again and substitute it in. I have -2 x minus a -9, a +26. The double negatives make it into a plus. Then we distribute. -2 times x is -2x. -2 times 9 is -18. I'm going to drop that plus 26 down and combine those like terms. My final answer is negative 2x plus, what's negative 18 plus 26? 8 plus 8. That is slope-intercept form. These are the most difficult ones where you have to find the slope, build point-slope form, and then distribute to find slope-intercept. Turn the page. It wants you to prove that the two equations are equivalent by simplifying the equation on the right. I was given 2x minus 4. This one is simplified. I can't simplify it anymore. But I can simplify the right. First, I distribute. Wherever I see the parentheses. So I would have 8 plus x minus 5x. Then I would distribute the 6. That plus 6 will be a plus 6x. And the 6 times a negative 2 is a negative 12. So I did 6 times x, boom, 6x. 6 times negative 2 is a negative 12. What happens when I do 1 minus 5 plus 6? Whoops. It's a 1x minus a 5x and a plus 6x. What does that equal when I combine those all together in my head? 1 minus 5 is negative
10.
What? No, 1 minus 5 is negative
Negative
4. Negative
Plus
4 plus 6.
2x.
Yes, 2 x's. So I would have a 2x. Then, this I'm doing in my head. You do not have to write this out. You can do that in your head, easy. So then what would 8 minus 12 be? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That'd be negative 4. Does it match the original left side? Yes, it matches. They are equivalent. They work. They match. This matches my original. All right, let's try B. Here's my original. I'm going to simplify the right side by distributing that 2 in. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. And this is just hanging out at the end. I then combine my x's. There's 5 here. 6. What's 5 plus 6? Then take away 10. That would 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 minus 10 is 1x. Then negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5. Does it match my original up here? Yes, it is equivalent. C, this is my given. It's already simplified. I'm going to distribute a -3. -3 will change my signs. -3 times -4 is a positive 12x. What's -3 times a -5? Positive 15. And the -13 is just chilling at the end. It just kind of drops. Those ones that aren't inside just drop down. 2x plus 12x make 14x's. 15 minus 13 is a positive 2. Is it equivalent?
Yeah.
Yes. Going good. D. I should end with a 4. And why is D going to be more difficult than the ones above? Maybe anybody see something that's different? I have not had one like this yet. There's not an X, but look at the right side. Look at this right side. Why is this one going to be more difficult than that top one? How many sets of parentheses are there? 2, so I have to distribute twice. 7 times 2 is 14x. 7 times 1 is 7. -5x just drops down. It's not being applied anywhere. This -3 now is distributed in. -3 times +3 is -9x. -3 times 1 is -3. I then count up my x's. 14 minus 5 minus 9. If I were to calculate it, I could do it on here. I just leave my x's off. 14 minus 5 minus 9 is 0 x's. What is 7 minus 3? Is this the same thing? If there's a 0x, I don't even need to write it. 0 times the number is just 0. So it did that work. It simplified. Last example. You have to check off which ones match this expression. First, I'm just going to distribute and see what it equals. 3 times 5 is 15x. 3 times -8 is -24. And there's a plus 4x that I don't multiply by because it's outside of the parentheses. When I combine my x's, that gives me 19x minus 24. Does anybody see this one in our list? 19x. Yeah? I'm going to check it off. So would 11x minus 24 work? Can I move any of the x's or combine anything to get 19x? No. What about 19x minus 8? I can't readjust anything. No. What happens if I have a 5x minus 8 plus a 5x minus 8 plus 5x minus 8? What's 5 plus a 5? Right, I'm going to combine. What's 5 plus 5 plus 5? 15 plus 4. And what's negative 8 minus 8 minus 8? 24. Negative 24. This one works. That gives me 19x minus 24 when I combine my like terms. What about this one? What happens when I simplify it? 5 times 3 is 15x. 5 times negative 8 is negative 40 plus 4x. That would be 19x minus 40. That does not work. Nope. Last one I'm going to check. Negative 2x just drops down. 7 times 3 is 21x. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. And the minus 3 also just drops down. Negative 2x plus 21. It's 21 minus 2. 19x. And what is negative 21 and minus 3? Negative 24. Does that match what I was trying to match? Yep, so I would check it off and submit. So it's kind of like you're matching. You're trying to match which ones match.